Tonight on Love Live at 6, a Sand Hill woman is remanded to prison on 2 counts of unlawful sexual intercourse involving a 15-year-old boy. 2 men face charges following a burglary at the home of a Belize Coast Guard officer. Bowen & Bowen offers a $5,000 reward for the identification of culprits in a Hope Creek robbery. Belize network of NGOs welcomed the landmark agreement protecting 17,000 acres at Turneffe Atoll. Department of the Environment rejects a proposed road through the northeastern biological corridor. Belize and Taiwan commit $3 million to support businesses owned by women and young entrepreneurs. And poet and publisher Margaret Reynolds receives the Z. Edgell Award for Literary Art. These stories and more tonight on Love Live at 6.
The success of my business means a lot to my family, especially my brother, because I'm continuing his legacy, making butterfly art collages. It was very hard for me to receive payments. I had to go directly to meet the person I'm purchasing from and who I'm selling to receive payment. Because I opened my business account with Atlantic Bank, now I can make and receive payments online, and this has made my job much easier.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Commercial Cleaning and Products of Belize, CCP, formerly known as Carpet Care Plus, offers a wide variety of professional restorative cleaning services and products in Belize. With over 20 years of experience in the industry, our mission has always been to provide our customers with the best products and services for quality, safe, and environmentally friendly cleaning. What separates us from the rest? The services we offer. Fabric cleaning for all types of carpets, upholstery, walls, and drapes. Vehicle detailing for both the interior and exterior. Total restorative cleaning of ceramic and porcelain tiles for floors, walls, marble, granite, limestone, travertine, clay, and more. Degreasing and polishing of the entire kitchen and all its equipment. Also custom concrete designs. We are a supplier of the most cost-efficient and economically viable products when you buy our specialized super concentrated formulas, such as cleaners, disinfectants, deodorizers, and sanitizers. Additionally, we also carry professional cleaning equipment, such as mops, buckets, vacuums, doormats, and window equipment, which are very durable and practical. You can order any of our products online at www.ccpbelize.com. CCP Belize uses only trained technicians, professional commercialized equipment, and EPA-certified products. Our products are 100% biodegradable. We also have certified green products, which are used by Green Globe approved companies. Visit us at 68 North Front Street, Belize City, or contact us at telephone 223-1820. Email us info@ccpbelize.com.
Win the Encore Bundle. 2 Skydeck tickets, $500 DigiCash, a night stay at Grand Resort plus official Marshall Montano merch. Get your tickets for only $5 on the DigiWallet Marketplace games. And experience Marshall Montano the Encore way.
BTB Accommodations License Renewal 2026 opens August 1st through the online portal. BTB is also having its license renewal clinic countrywide, starting August 10th in Corozal, then in Orange Walk, Key Carker, San Pedro, Hopkins, Placencia, Toledo, Belize City, San Ignacio, and Belmopan. Remember, to successfully process your renewal at the clinic, managers with portal access must bring updated electronic copies of renewal requirements. Licenses will be ready the same day at the clinic. Accommodations operating beyond October 31st, 2026 without successfully completing the renewal process will receive a violation ticket. Operating without a valid license commits an offense. For more information, please contact our compliance officers at 227-2420 extension #247. Email hotels@belizetourismboard.org or WhatsApp us at 635-3688. Renew your BTB accommodation license through the online portal starting August 1st, 2026, or look out for the renewal clinic near you.
Pelican is more than just brewed in Belize. It's made of Belize. And being made of Belize means being authentic, unique, and proud. This is what that looks like. Belikin, the beer of Belize. There are many stories to be shared about what it means to be made of Belize. Join Belikin in celebrating our Belizean heritage by sharing your unique story. A few of these stories will be selected to be produced into Belikin Made of Belize videos. Those chosen will receive Belikin beer for a year and will be invited to join us during production. Let's tell the stories of what it means to be made of Belize. Please send us a WhatsApp message at 630-6519 or email us at madeofbelize@skz.bz.
Good evening, Belize, and welcome back to Love Live at 6 with your news for tonight. I am Tamar Jones. A 37-year-old Sandhill woman has been remanded to the Belize Central Prison after being charged with 2 counts of unlawful sexual intercourse involving a 15-year-old boy. Cherise Shelmadine Morales, a cook from mile 19 on the Philip Golson Highway, appeared before the chief magistrate this morning. The allegations are that Morales had sexual intercourse with the minor twice at her home on July 30, once in a bedroom and again in a bathroom. No plea was taken because the charges are indictable. Morales' attorney, Orson Elrington, asked the court to exercise its discretion and grant bail. He argued that the provision under which his client was charged refers to carnal knowledge of a girl and does not specifically mention a boy. The prosecution opposed the application, maintaining that the 15-year-old is the alleged victim and that the lower court did not have the authority to grant bail. The chief magistrate agreed and remanded Morales until November 16, when disclosure is expected to be provided. The court indicated that bail could be reconsidered after 90 days if Morales is unsuccessful in obtaining bail from the High Court. Police say the minor, accompanied by his mother, made a report at Ladyville Police Station on August 6. Morales was detained on Sunday and later interviewed under caution in the presence of a justice of the peace. Police say she denied the allegations but was subsequently charged following their investigation. 2 men, including a member of the Belize Coast Guard, have been remanded to prison after being charged with aggravated burglary in connection with the theft of a $46,000 pickup truck in Hattieville, Belize District. 46-year-old Alberto Areza, a salesman, manager, and farmer from Tea Kettle Village, and 29-year-old Coast Guard member Shafan Devon Hammonds appeared in magistrate's court this morning. Both men pleaded not guilty to a single count of aggravated burglary. The allegation is that on Thursday, August 20, the men entered the home of Randy King in the Belize American News Site area at mile 17 while armed with a firearm. During this week's police briefing, ASP Stacey Smith provided preliminary details of the investigation.
Police have formally arrested and charged 29-year-old Shefan Hemmans, a Belizean Coast Guard officer, and 26-year-old Alberto Ariaza, a laborer, for the crime of aggravated burglary. The arrest of Hemmans and Arteaga follows the ongoing investigation into an aggravated burglary report made by a Hattieville resident who reported to police that at around 7:45 p.m. on Thursday, he was at his residence when two masked male persons, one of whom was armed with a firearm, entered his residence and demanded that he handed over the key for a black in color 2026 Wingle pickup truck. He complied with this request and the male persons made off with the vehicle. Having been advised of this occurrence, the department's standard operating procedures were activated, and this proved successful as at approximately 9:45 p.m., the operational team in Santa Rosa in western Belize intercepted the black in color Wingle pickup truck, and also observed at that time was another vehicle which sped off. The vehicle was pursued, and on board that vehicle was Mr. Hemmans, and a search of Mr. Hemmans additionally led to the discovery of 50 live rounds of .22 LR ammunition. Consequently, Mr. Hemmans was additionally charged for kept ammunition without a gun license.
The alleged involvement of Hemmans has also prompted a response from the Belize Coast Guard. Rear Admiral Greg Soberanis addressed the matter today.
We received a report from a call really from the police department that they had detained one Mr. Hemmans, a member of the Belize Coast Guard, in an operation that was conducted out west, where the police were on a mission to intercept two vehicles that were stolen. One vehicle that was stolen was a vehicle for a member of the Belize Coast Guard. And while conducting that operation, police intercepted the vehicle that belonged to the member of the Belize Coast Guard, and in that process, one Seaman Hemmans was detained by members of the police team. We're not aware of any tension between Hemmans and the victim whose vehicle was stolen. Perhaps there is, but at this time I'm not aware of any tensions or any type of misunderstanding between the two individuals. The Belize Coast Guard, we do not intervene in a police investigation or police proceedings when one of our members is detained. Any alleged action of misconduct of any Coast Guard member that becomes a police matter, we allow for due process to take its course, and while the matter will be dealt with in the courts, internally, administrative disciplinary proceedings will also take place for the individual. But we support the police investigation. We support the police executing their duties through, like I said, due process. And this, for us, a member of the Coast Guard who gets involved in this type of activity, for us, it does not negate the collective good of the men and women who continue to serve and are dedicated to the mission and mandate of the Belize Coast Guard.
Since the offense involved a firearm, the magistrate explained that the lower court could not offer bail. Arieza and Hemmans were remanded to the Belize Central Prison and advised that they may apply to the High Court if they wish to seek bail before the 90-day period. They are scheduled to return to court on October 20th for disclosure. Bowen and Bowen Limited is calling for major improvements to Belize's financial and payment systems, saying businesses need safer and more efficient ways to collect and process customer payments. The company says electronic payments should be able to connect automatically with businesses' accounting systems. Such integration would eliminate the need for employees to manually identify and reconcile payments, while reducing the volume of cash carried by delivery and sales teams. The call follows a robbery at Hope Creek supermarket in which 2 Bowen and Bowen employees were assaulted and required medical attention. Both employees are recovering, and the company says no cash was stolen. According to Bowen and Bowen, the incident highlights the dangers faced by workers and businesses that continue to transport significant amounts of cash along Belize's roads. The company argues that broader access to integrated electronic payment options would make employees less attractive targets and reduce opportunities for similar attacks. Bowen and Bowen is urging the Central Bank of Belize, commercial banks, payment providers, and the wider business community to work together to modernize the country's payment infrastructure. It says violent crime should not be accepted as a normal cost of doing business. The company is also offering a $5,000 reward for information leading to the identification and arrest of the person or persons responsible for the Hope Creek attack. The Belize network of NGOs, BNN, is welcoming the conservation agreement between the government of Belize and the Turneffe Atoll Trust, calling it an important step in protecting Turneffe Atoll and the marine resources that support Belizean livelihoods. The agreement, signed on August 19, protects about 17,000 acres of government-owned land at Turneffe Atoll for permanent conservation. Dr. Elma Kay, board chairwoman of the Belize network of NGOs, says the agreement is a milestone worth celebrating and explains why BNN believes the protection of Turneffe Atoll is important.
I think our mangrove ecosystem is one of the most precious and overlooked ecosystems of all the coastal ecosystems that provide so many benefits to Belizeans, whether it's by acting as nurseries for the fish in the reef and keeping reef health, to being able to safeguard the people during storms and things like that. And so, whether directly or indirectly, it is part of our well-being, our economy, and all of that. And it's a sensitive system. It's a system, because of coastal systems are under a lot of pressure for development. This is incredible. It's 17,000 acres that have now been protected permanently, in perpetuity and for conservation, which also means that they can continue to feed the tourism industry, can continue to protect Belizeans. So this is really an incredible achievement. And I think what is so amazing is that it's in perpetuity. For BNN, we are super proud of our members, the Turneffe Atoll Trust and the Turneffe Atoll Sustainability Association, because of their involvement in this landmark effort with the government of Belize to come to this agreement and to be able to safeguard these systems for generations to come.
BNN says protecting Turneffe is important not only for the environment, but also for people who depend on the area for their livelihoods, including those involved in fishing and tourism. The agreement also provides $2.2 million for the University of Belize to establish a marine research facility at Turneffe Atoll. Valdemar Andrade, Executive Director of the Turneffe Atoll Sustainability Association, explains why protecting the 17,000 acres is important while ensuring that the area can continue to support economic activity.
From the Turneffe Atoll Sustainability Association side, we really would like to ensure that we thank the Turneffe Atoll Trust, who has been championing this land trust from 2020. So they have been working at this for a long time, and I think it is very much a landmark approach to how you do protection, but while still ensure that you're supporting economic development at the end of the day. While Elma highlighted that the entire 17,000 acres of mangroves protects seashore. In this case, it protects the entire Belize City and surrounds, which is our biggest economic center and our biggest populated center. Additionally, it provides food security for conch, lobster, and finfish for the entire nation in terms of economic value and also in terms of just sustenance. What Dr. Hayes has worked into the entire protection this time is the protection of the flats fishery industry. And I think it is important for people to understand that flats fishing is a high value, low impact source of tourism and also a source of income. Many people who are employed in this industry are being paid a high wage or a living wage instead of just getting a job. They're actually earning a quite significant amount of money from doing this. And many people participate in this as a guest that comes to Belize. And
with the agreement now signed, BNN says the next step is making sure the agreement is properly implemented so that Turneffe Atoll remains protected while continuing to benefit the people and businesses that depend on it. In other news, from the Belize network of NGOs, the group is preparing a series of consultations on the new non-profit organizations bill, giving NGOs and NPOs an opportunity to learn about the proposed law and give their views before it moves forward. In 2023, government introduced a non-profit organizations bill that was intended to regulate non-profit organizations and strengthen measures to prevent their misuse for money laundering and the financing of tourism. But the NGO community raised concerns about the bill, including the fact that they had not been consulted before it was introduced. Love News reported at the time that the network of NGOs was calling for meaningful consultation on the legislation. The group notes that for organizations that will have to operate under these rules, the consultations are an opportunity to understand what is being proposed, raise concerns and suggest changes before the bill advances. Dr. Elma Kay, BNN's board chair, explains what the consultations are about and why organizations need to take part.
I think everybody has a stake in this because, as you know, the Not-for-Profit Organization Act that was more recently passed, affected many people that previously had not been touched by any type of compliance legislation. I think you may remember that a few years ago, there was a lot of debate as to, whether feeding programs or fundraisers for medical purposes or any of these things that are really, for a good purpose, how are they brought under compliance? So this does touch everyone. I think NGOs like us that have a body of work that's consistent and have been doing that work, we are used to having these compliance measures because we are not able to obtain funding and run our programs without having those assurances that what we're doing is all above board. But I think specifically for the smaller organizations that now have to register under the Not-for-Profit Organization Act, it has caused a lot of, confusion and angst and all of that. So I would say if you have any doubts, please do contact the Belize network of NGOs. Please participate in the consultations because this is important. It does touch anybody who is trying to do acts of not-for-profit purposes.
Sessions will be held in 3 locations. The first is on Monday, August 31 in Belize City at BIM. A second session is scheduled for Wednesday, September 2 in Dangriga at the Power Center. The final consultation will be held in Punta Gorda on Thursday, September 3 at BTIA. The Department of the Environment has denied environmental clearance for a proposed 2-point-mile road through the Northeastern Biological Corridor. The road proposed by Honey Hub Limited would have connected the Honeycamp area to the Newland Community Road across portions of the Orange Walk and Corozal districts. The National Environmental Appraisal Committee reviewed the project's environmental impact assessment on July 30 and recommended that clearance not be granted. According to the department, the assessment did not sufficiently justify clearing approximately 13 acres of forest within the protected corridor. Officials determined that the project could fragment wildlife habitat, restrict the movement of animals, and increase the likelihood of wildlife being killed or injured. The committee also found insufficient information about the availability of suitable materials for constructing the road. It warned that sourcing additional fill could lead to further land clearing, disturbance, and damage to natural habitats. The proposed road would have shortened travel by approximately 5 miles. However, the assessment did not adequately demonstrate that this benefit would outweigh the potential environmental and socioeconomic effects, including the impact on Santa Marta residents who depend on the existing road network. The DOE has encouraged Honey Hub Limited to explore an alternative route outside the Northern Biological Corridor. Our newsroom has been unable to verify who owns or directs Honey Hub Limited when it was incorporated and the nature of its wider commercial operations. The government of Belize and the government of the Republic of China, Taiwan, have signed a new $3 million agreement aimed at helping women and young people strengthen and grow their businesses. The Belize Women and Youth MSMEs Development Project was signed yesterday and will provide training, business guidance, and support to help entrepreneurs improve their businesses, reach new markets, and create jobs. Minister of Home Affairs and Foreign Trade Francis Fonseca says the initiative is part of Belize's continued partnership with Taiwan and is expected to create greater opportunities for local entrepreneurs.
Today's signing is a reaffirmation of the confidence that our two governments placed in this partnership and in its ability to deliver meaningful and lasting results, particularly for Belizean women who remain this project's central focus. When a woman starts a business, she's not only generating income for herself, she is very often the primary force stabilizing a household's finances, financing her children's education, and reinvesting in her community. Support to women entrepreneurs is, in that sense, one of the most direct investments we can make in the next generation of Belizeans. We are grateful to the government of the Republic of China, Taiwan, for its continued confidence in Belize and for its willingness to invest not only in our entrepreneurs, but in the broader potential of our private sector. Through this project, in closing one of the most consequential gender gaps in our economy. As we sign this agreement today, we look forward to building on what we have achieved together and to deepening this cooperation in the years ahead.
Implemented by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Foreign Trade, Education, Culture, Science and Technology, and the Taiwan Technical Mission in Belize. It will focus on helping entrepreneurs build stronger and more sustainable businesses, with particular attention being given to women and young people. Ambassador of the Republic of China, Taiwan, His Excellency Amino Chai, spoke about the importance of providing entrepreneurs with the tools and support they need to develop their businesses and gain access to new opportunities.
It's my pleasure to announce that Taiwan and Belize are going to continue the initiative empowering women and youth in Belize. The previous women's empowerment projects began at the aftermath of the COVID-19 pandemic, which aims to support those most affected women and to help create opportunities for economic recovery in Belize. The previous projects had reached more than 2,700 women across all districts of Belize. And we can see communities were refilled and many women had stepped into non-traditional fields, such as cell phone repair. Based on the foundation we have built together, we are pleased to launch today the Belize Women and Youth MSMEs Development Project. Through the project, Taiwan will share its experience and expertise to train women and youth in Belize. with entrepreneurship, equip them with vital vocational skills, and assist them in building their own business in tourism, indigenous handicraft, beauty industries, and other potential sectors. I would like to take this opportunity to thank Minister Fonseca and member of the steering committee of the project for your staunch support. I sincerely hope the new project can help Belizean women and youth discover their talent and potential and continue the change of the mindset of women's role in Belizean society.
The new initiative builds on an earlier cooperation project between Belize and Taiwan that supported approximately 2,000 women and more than 100 startups. 75 Belizean students have begun a new chapter in their education, heading to Taiwan to pursue undergraduate and graduate studies. The students left Belize in 3 groups with departures between August 22 and August 24. Of the 75 scholarship recipients, 35 received the MOFA Taiwan Scholarship, while 40 received scholarships through the Taiwan ICDF program. The students will pursue bachelor's, master's, and PhD studies and will pursue opportunities in various fields that can help build their professional skills and knowledge. Prior to the departures, the recipients gathered on August 14 for an orientation session and alumni gathering where they received guidance from national leaders, Taiwan officials, and Belizeans who previously studied in Taiwan. The Taiwan ICDF Scholarship Program itself has been providing higher education opportunities through partner universities in Taiwan since 1998. Belizean poet, author, and publisher Margaret Reynolds has been named this year's recipient of the Z. Edgell Awards for Literary Arts as part of the Belize at 45 Creative and Cultural Excellence Awards. Reynolds is being recognized for her contribution to Belize's literary arts and her work in promoting local writers and creative expression. Reynolds says receiving the recognition is meaningful to her, particularly after years of contributing to Belize's literary community.
So I started writing as young as 9 years old. I started experimenting with poetry. My writing should increase your view about how others feel. It is basically leaning towards teaching you to be empathetic. 501 from way back, we had the Poet Society. I was a founding member in that. I had moved away because of work and I had a lot of other commitments. Then eventually I heard that they no longer existed. And so one day I was on the bus and I met 2 other poets that used to go, and we were talking about this, that we need to get it back. I guess that was the push I needed. And in June of 2013, we had our first show. From the very first night, we had a crowd and the exchange was great. I met a lot of new poets that night, younger poets, and from that moment on, the decision was made, we can't stop, we need to continue with this. Z. Edgell, she's a painter with words. Her writing, it brings you in, right? It brings you in. So when I heard about the award, I felt really good.
For more than 2 decades, Reynolds has been involved in Belize's literary community. She is the founder of Reynolds Desktop Publishing and the creator of Spoken Word 501, a platform that has provided Belizean poets with a space to share their work and explore issues including culture, identity, history, and social concerns. Her publishing work has also contributed to the development of Belizean literature, including the publication of Poets and Poetry and the Spoken Word 501 compilation series. The Z. Edgell Award is named after renowned Belizean author Z. Edgell and forms part of the national awards recognizing Belizeans who have made significant contributions to the country's creative and cultural landscape. The recognition places Reynolds among a growing list of Belizean literary figures, including Evan X. Hyde, Lawrence Vernon, Godfrey Smith, and Roland Parks. More news ahead, but first we take a break. We'll be right back with Love Live at 6.
Belize, the king of soca, returns to the Jewel after 10 years. Marshall Montano with his full band and dancers to give you the encore Soca and Culture Fest experience. The Belize Tourism Board, Belize Bank, Cellular World and Digi, our national telecom, present the 12th annual Guinness Soca and Culture Fest. Sunday, September 20th at the Belize Civic Center. And if you think last year was great, this year will be even greater. Doors open at 8 p.m. to 3 a.m. Also featuring St. Martin's Juggling and Dancing Queen, DJ BB Bad, and General Super G, Belize's Soca Queen, Ernestine, Belize's Soca Don Dada, TR Shine, Belize's top DJs, plus more.
Get your tickets now. General admission $80, VIP $215, Ultra VIP $365, and limited sky deck for $500.
So mark the date for the 12th annual Soca and Culture Fest Encore Experience, featuring the King of Soca, Marshall Montano.
Sponsored by
people, not businesses, power the economy. And they deserve to be acknowledged, appreciated, and compensated for their efforts. Because when your people are successful, so is your business. Neo People, simplify your HR and payroll needs with one powerful solution.
Belize, you feel it yet? Carnival season there. Creole Heartbeat there too. One brand new showcase band celebrating for we Creole culture with rhythm, with pride. Come wear the beautiful costumes. We talking you on the road. Join the band. Call 600-7453 or email creoleheartbeat@gmail.com. Creole Heartbeat, come feel the rhythm.
The BCCI's Expo Belize Marketplace is back and celebrating 30 years of Belizean innovation, enterprise, and business. Save the date and join us on Saturday, September 12 and Sunday, September 13, 2026 at the Marion Jones Sports Complex in Belize City from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Experience Belize's premier marketplace where entrepreneurship and opportunity come together under one roof. From exclusive deals and promotions to delicious food, drinks, and live entertainment, the Expo Belize Marketplace has something for everyone. Whether you're shopping, networking, discovering what's new, or simply enjoying the Expo vibes, this is one event you don't want to miss. Celebrate 30 years of business excellence with us at the Expo Belize Marketplace 2026, where Belize does business. See you there. Sponsors include
North, South, East, and West. Belize City will have the best lobster fest. BNS Beach and Northern Fishermen Cooperative presents Lobster Fest Beach Party. August 29th and 30th. Come be a part of this 2 days event at the BNS Beach. 3 3/4 miles George Price Highway. Food and drinks will be on sale. Then, who will be Belize's best chef? As we have lobster cook-off competition, kayak race, chocolate mud wrestling, greasy pole, bouncy house, and a whole lot more. They can't stop you. Do what you want. Live entertainment by Vida Mugs and Topric. So make it a date. Don't be late. August 29th and 30th, BNS Beach, Lobster Fest. Admission, $15 adults, $5 kids. Gates open at 10 a.m. Be there.
Sponsors are San Pedro Belize Express, Lawrence Ellis and the Mesopotamia Committee, Carib Beer, Grace Beverage Center, Belikin, the Beer of Belize, Caribbean Tire, Northern Fisherman Cooperative, and Love FM.
So it started off like any other summer day in Belize. I decided to go down to Builders Hardware since I hear they had 25% off on summer outdoor products. I got a couple of items, a chair, a grill, a cooler, and I got carried away, but the prices were so good. But anyways, I might have gotten comfortable, maybe too comfortable. Then I saw the news, man, the hurricane season was not playing with me. But thank God, Builders also had 25% off hurricane preparedness items as well. Flashlights, batteries, sealant, first aid kits, everything I need. And guess what? My grill survived.
Welcome back to Love Live at 6. Belize's climate conversation took center stage in Punta Gorda with the opening of the country's 5th National Climate Week. The week began with the first ever climate change parade and brought together government officials, international partners, and communities to examine how a changing climate is affecting Belize's economy, agriculture, tourism, and natural resources. The message from organizers was clear. Climate action must move beyond discussion and into the everyday lives of Belizeans. Here is Paul Diaz with that story.
Punta Gorda became the center of Belize's climate conversation as the country's 5th National Climate Week began on Friday, August 21st. The activities began with the first ever climate change parade, bringing students, government representatives, environmental organizations, and residents into the streets with messages promoting climate awareness and action. The colorful display was among the opening highlights of the Punta Gorda Sporting Complex. Chief Executive Officer in the Ministry of Sustainable Development, Climate Change and Solid Waste Management, Milagro Matos, described the parade as nothing short of impressive. She also reflected on how significantly Belize's climate conversation has evolved over the years.
Over the past 5 years, Climate Week has grown from a series of events into a truly national platform. Climate action is now part of national development, part of how we grow our food, manage our waste, protect our forests, and how we build our homes, strengthen our economy, and prepare for the future. So there is no better place for this preparation for resilience conversation to continue than Toledo, where traditional knowledge and modern innovation meet and reinforce one another.
Marta said nearly 1 year of coordination and planning went into staging Climate Week. But beyond the exhibitions, presentations, and public discussions, she encouraged participants to leave with at least one practical action that can be taken back to their homes and communities. Belize remains highly vulnerable to the effects of climate change, making international partnerships and access to climate financing increasingly important. Minister of State for Economic Transformation, Dr. Osman Martinez, acknowledged representatives of the Inter-American Development Bank who made a special effort to attend the opening. Martinez said climate change is not solely an environmental issue. It extends across the economy, affecting tourism, employment, and especially agriculture, the sector responsible for the livelihood of thousands of Belizean families.
Climate change is not just an environmental challenge. It's an economic challenge, but it's also an economic opportunity. The impacts of climate change threatens our agriculture, our tourism, our fisheries, and our infrastructure. They threaten jobs and livelihoods, and ultimately, they threaten the economic foundation upon which our country is built. I want to tell you a little story here which will take 30 seconds. Just a few weeks ago, I had to make an emergency visit in Machakilha simply because the corn that they have planted, there was a flood and the corn that they have planted was practically wiped out. And while it seems like a small little crop for our economic of scale, in reality for them it means their whole life. And that is the impacts of climate change.
This year, the observance was deliberately taken south to the Toledo district, where communities demand heavily on agriculture, forests, marine resources, and other climate-sensitive sectors. Minister of Sustainable Development, Climate Change and Solid Waste Management, Orlando Hubbard, said Toledo provides an important setting for examining both Belize's vulnerability and the knowledge communities already possess to build resilience. Hubbard also highlighted the mounting cost of severe weather events, including losses to productive industries and damage to the roads, public infrastructure, forests, and delicate ecosystems.
Climate change does not affect everyone equally, and neither does everyone have the same capacity to recover. A small farmer does not absorb a drought in the same way as that of a large enterprise. A low-income household does not recover from flooding as easily as a family with greater resources. Many rural and indigenous communities depend directly on land, on the forests and natural resources that are themselves under increasing pressure. That is why Belize's work on a just transition framework is also important. And as we move toward lower emission development, new technologies and new investments, we must also protect livelihoods, build skills, create opportunities, and ensure that women, young people, indigenous peoples, and vulnerable communities are able to participate and to benefit. And we heard yesterday at the forum that these people, during the consultative process, should not only be a part of the consultation process, but they also must lead from the bottom up, because that is where the indigenous knowledge belongs, and that is where it comes from.
National Climate Week was held under the theme where innovation meets impact, driving resilience, scaling technology, and expanding inclusion in climate action. The program featured discussions, interactions displayed focus on the orange economy, forest and agriculture, and marine conservation and technology. Organizers say the objective is to move the national conversation beyond awareness and towards solutions that Belize can apply within their homes, businesses, and communities. As the 5th annual observance concluded, the central message from Punta Gorda was that every sector and every Belizean has a role in strengthening the country's response to a changing climate. Reporting for Love News, I am Paul Diaz.
Belize was among 14 countries represented at the 6th Summit of First Ladies and Gentlemen held in Kyiv, Ukraine on Sunday. The country was represented virtually by Special Envoy for the Development of Children and Families, Rossana Bersenio. The summit was hosted by Ukraine's First Lady, Olena Zelensky, under the theme World 2026, Finding Stability in Times of Uncertainty. Discussions focus on how countries can strengthen social resilience, protect mental health, and help families and countries overcome crisis. Participants shared national experiences and programs aimed at helping people cope with conflict, economic pressures, and other global challenges. The program was divided into 4 areas: discovering sources of strength, finding meaning, enduring and taking action, and remaining united. Belize joined representatives from Germany, Israel, the Czech Republic, Turkey, Guatemala, and Georgia online, while 6 other countries attended in person. The annual summit brings together the spouses of world leaders to promote international cooperation in humanitarian, health, education, and social development initiatives. This year's gathering was held on August 24 as Ukraine marked its 35th anniversary of independence. The Statistical Institute of Belize, SIB, has begun consultations on proposed legislation intended to modernize and strengthen the country's national statistical system. SIB today hosted a one-day sensitization session on the draft National Data and Statistical Systems Act 2026 at the Best Western Plus Belize Biltmore Plaza. Senior representatives from agencies that produce official data reviewed the proposed law and considered how it could affect their roles and responsibilities. While SIB currently operates under its own legislation, there is no comprehensive law governing the wider national statistical system. The draft acts to close that gap by establishing a unified legal framework and clearly defining how participating agencies produce, share, protect, and use data for statistical purposes. The legislation is also intended to improve coordination among data-producing agencies and support the delivery of timely and reliable statistics for national planning and decision-making. During the session, participants identified areas requiring clarification and submitted recommendations for consideration before the legislation is finalized. The United Nations Development Programme provided technical support for the drafting process through the Korea International Cooperation Agency fund enabling of Belize's Statistical Systems Project. A 19-year-old construction worker has been remanded to the Belize Central Prison after being accused of attacking his older brother with a knife during a family dispute. Brenton Conrad Archer appeared unrepresented in the Belize City Magistrates Court yesterday, where he was charged with aggravated assault with a dangerous instrument. He pleaded not guilty. Police allege that Archer attacked his 22-year-old brother Joshua Lamb during an altercation at a residence on Iguana Street last Friday. Lamb was later found at the Karl Huchener Memorial Hospital with injuries to both sides of his mouth and stab wounds near his left eye and cheek. The prosecutor did not object to bail. However, the magistrate deferred consideration of bail because the brothers reportedly live at the same residence or in close proximity to each other. The court asked the prosecution to verify their living arrangements before bail is considered to ensure Lamb would not be placed at further risk. Archer told the court that his brother does not live in the same yard. He was remanded until September 2, when the court is expected to revisit the question of bail. Police are investigating an aggravated burglary in Blackman Eddy Village, Cayo District, during which 4 masked men reportedly stole $8,000 from a 65-year-old retiree. Roy Alexander Oriano told police he was asleep at around 12:30 this morning when the men forced their way into his home. 3 were reportedly dressed entirely in black, while the 4th wore white clothing and carried what appeared to be a 9mm pistol. The intruders allegedly removed Oriano from his bed and searched the house, finding $8,000 hidden beneath the bed. They then demanded additional money and claimed they had been told by one of his relatives that cash was being kept inside the home. Police say 2 of the men attempted to punch Oriano, but he was not struck. He managed to distract the intruders and escape to a neighbor's house, where he called for help. Oriano reportedly saw the men jump over his fence and flee in a blue Nissan Rogue. This is Love Live at 6. More news after the break. We'll be right back.
Commercial Cleaning and Products of Belize, CCP, formerly known as Carpet Care Plus, offers a wide variety of professional restorative cleaning services and products in Belize. With over 20 years of experience in the industry, our mission has always been to provide our customers with the best products and services for quality, safe, and environmentally friendly cleaning. What separates us from the rest? The services we offer. Fabric cleaning for all types of carpets, upholstery, walls, and drapes. Vehicle detailing for both the interior and exterior. Total restorative cleaning of ceramic and porcelain tiles for floors, walls, marble, granite, limestone, travertine, clay, and more. Degreasing and polishing of the entire kitchen and all its equipment. Also custom concrete designs. We are a supplier of the most cost-efficient and economically viable products when you buy our specialized super concentrated formulas, such as cleaners, disinfectants, deodorizers, and sanitizers. Additionally, we also carry professional cleaning equipment, such as mops, buckets, vacuums, doormats, and window equipment, which are very durable and practical. You can order any of our products online at www.ccpbelize.com. CCP Belize uses only trained technicians, professional commercialized equipment, and EPA-certified products. Our products are 100% biodegradable. We also have certified green products, which are used by Green Globe-approved companies. Visit us at 68 North Front Street, Belize City, or contact us at telephone 223-1820. Email us info@ccpbelize.com.
If this is an emergency situation, please call 911 right away for immediate assistance. Do not use the Crime Stoppers program in an emergency situation. Do you have information about a crime or a fugitive in our community? You can submit a tip anonymously with your smartphone. Using this program in safeguarding our community also protects your identity, keeping you out of the court system, and could earn you a cash reward. Here is how it works. Download the free P3 Tips app from the Apple Store or Android Market. P3 is the provider of our secure anonymous tip collecting software. Open the app and create a PIN, but be sure to remember that number, then select your location. Next, select the type of crime. When submitting a tip, be as specific as possible. Remember, the more information you give the officers, the more likely it is that we will be able to identify the suspect or confirm a crime has taken place. This ultimately helps when making arrests. Information leading to an arrest can earn you a cash reward of up to $1,000. Never put yourself in danger to gather information. However, if you have a picture, video, or audio that will help officers, you can upload them from your phone. Once you click Submit Tip, P3 will ask to send you notifications. You choose what's right for you. Once your tip is submitted, you'll be given a tip ID and password. Keep that info safe as you'll need it to check the status of your tip. Using the app, simply log back in using the PIN you created when you first opened it. Check back if your tip leads to an arrest. You'll be told how much you were rewarded and how to anonymously collect your cash.
I know I Belizean. Of course I will make sure the place clean, especially the places there where we treasure.
Belizean. Of course, I have a bag for my garbage in my car.
I know a Belizean. Of course, I believe that all of we should do for we part to protect the environment.
I know Belizean. Of course, I teach my picnic from small enough to throw garbage on the ground.
I know a Belizean. Of course, on and off the court. We unite as a team to keep Belize clean.
As Belizeans, let's trash the habit and not the beauty.
Manholes play a critical role in keeping our sewage and drainage systems functioning properly. They allow our maintenance teams to inspect, clean, and clear blockages. When covers are missing or compromised, the entire system and the public are placed at risk. Stealing or damaging manhole covers is a criminal offense and creates dangerous conditions on our streets and sidewalks. Motorists and drivers are reminded that it is an offense to park or drive on sidewalks. The weight of vehicles, large or small, can crack and dislodge manhole covers. In an ongoing effort to protect lives, property, and public infrastructure across Belize City, your Belize City Council continues its citywide manhole cover replacement program. Since the launch of this initiative, thousands of damaged or missing manhole covers have been replaced, improving safety, accessibility, and the overall appearance of our streets and sidewalks. Despite these strides, manhole covers continue to be stolen or damaged, creating serious risks for pedestrians and motorists, including severe injuries, traffic incidents, and damage to personal property. If you see a manhole cover that is broken, missing, or unsafe, report it immediately. Take a photo and share the location with us via WhatsApp at 673-9055 or by calling 227-2308. Remember, maintaining manhole covers requires a shared responsibility. Together, we can prevent accidents, protect public infrastructure, and keep Belize City safe for everyone. Your Belize City Council, always about the people.
The Belize City Council is once again targeting derelict vehicles as it prepares for the major upcoming bridge works. The council has issued a public notice reminding owners that vehicles left out of service for an extended period of time due to neglect or misuse may be classified as derelict. Mayor Bernard Wagner says their removal is especially important ahead of the planned bridge construction, since abandoned vehicles can obstruct traffic along key routes into and out of the city.
We got to press with derelict vehicles, particularly given the fact that in a short while construction will commence on those two bridges. We can't have derelict vehicles on the roadway blocking, impeding traffic flow. So we'll be very, very strong and we'll move pretty quickly in removing derelict vehicles all across the city, particularly in those streets that are outlets out of the city.
It is to be noted that under the Summary Jurisdiction Offences Act, the relevant authority may issue a notice requiring the owner to remove a derelict vehicle within 48 hours. If the notice is not obeyed, the vehicle may be treated as abandoned and removed without further warning. The owner may also face a fine of up to $3,000. Anyone who removes or defaces an official notice placed on a vehicle commits an offense and may be fined up to $500. The renewed enforcement follows an initiative launched in April to remove abandoned vehicles from flood-prone areas, including Vernon Street, Gill Street, Sanker Street, and Rivera Street. City officials say derelict vehicles can obstruct drains, impede traffic, create public hazards, and negatively affect the appearance of the city. Residents can report derelict vehicles by calling 280-4014 or sending photographs and location details via WhatsApp at 673-9055. As families across Belize prepare for the start of a new school year, the Belize Coast Guard is lending a helping hand through a back-to-school haircut drive aimed at supporting children and easing the financial burden on parents in southern Belize. The community outreach initiative led by Senior Chief Coast Guard Officer Galvez and members of the Belize Coast Guard brings together volunteer barbers, community partners, and supporters to provide free haircuts for school-age children. The effort is intended to ensure students return to the classroom looking their best and feeling confident as they begin the new academic year. Senior Chief Petty Officer Joycelyn Galvez shared how the initiative came about.
Before the headquarters planned to have this back-to-school drive, I already had that in my plan for the Sea Cadet down here at Sector South, because last year I was planning to do it and working with the village council, but it did not work out last year. So this year I said I would do it on my own. Now Coast Guard have this program and they have me in charge of the whole Sector South area. I expect that we have more than 200 children that will benefit from this drive. This drive is happening. We did it in Dangriga. 2 days we did in Dangriga, last week, Wednesday and yesterday. Today we're in Hopkins and Georgetown. Tomorrow we'll be in Forest Home, Big Falls, and Punta Gorda. Thursday we'll be in Mango Creek and Bella Vista, also San Isidro Village. And we are doing it at Barranco for the entire week. We have 3 barber stations in Barranco. So when the kids are available, they will go and train there. Our commitment to the community outreach is reflected from over our Sea Cadet program, teaching them how to be a good seaman at sea. With Bellas Vista, we have mostly Coast Guard barbers working. They have Coast Guard personnel who, apart from being a Coast Guard member, are also good barbers. They are providing this service to the kids. We team up with barber in Bella Vista. And the community is really working with us by bringing out the children so that we can get them ready for a school with their haircut and their hair braiding.
Organizers say the initiative strengthens the relationship between the Coast Guard and the communities it serves by promoting positive interaction with young people. Galvez also spoke about a swimming initiative conducted by the Coast Guard last week.
Last week we had a swimming program which was done by the Coast Guard swimming pro team. We had 33 children that took the swimming lessons, and now they are very first with swimming. This opportunity for the children is to interact with them, the Coast Guard personnel. The children, they are questioning us and want to know more about Coast Guard. The children in Danriga especially, they would love to see a sea cadet down there. And my dream personally is to have sea cadet in Danriga, Monkey River, and Punta Gorda as well. For this Sea Cadet Back to School Drive, we'll try to make it an annual event.
The Back to School Drive began with activities in Dangrigua and Barranco. Following today's stop in Hopkins, the Coast Guard will take the initiative to Punta Gorda on Wednesday, Independence on Thursday, and Monkey River on Friday. And this concludes Love Live at 6 for tonight. We want to say thank you for watching. We do invite you to join us again tomorrow evening for another live, updated, televised news broadcast. Next, we take a look at the latest in weather news.
Good evening, Belize. A fresh to moderate easterly airflow prevails, and conditions are expected to become more moist and unstable later tonight and tomorrow morning. The 24-hour forecast for Belize and her coastal waters calls for partly cloudy skies tonight, becoming cloudy at times. Showers and thunderstorms will be isolated, except for the south, where a few more showers and isolated thunderstorms can be expected. Low temperatures tonight will range from 81 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast to 73 inland and 68 in the higher elevations. Tomorrow will be cloudy with a few sunny breaks, and high temperatures are expected to reach 89 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast to 95 inland and 82 over the mountains. A few outbreaks of showers and thunderstorms will develop mostly over southern districts and central areas tomorrow morning, then gradually decreasing as the day progresses. The wind will blow from the east at 10 to 15 knots, and the sea state will be light sharp. A high tide will occur at 9:12 tonight, a low at 2:20 a.m., another high at 8:35 in the morning, and a low at 3:50 p.m. The sun will set today at 11 minutes past 6 and rise at 5:37. The moon will set at 12 minutes past 4 tomorrow morning and comes up at 5:22 in the evening. The outlook for Wednesday night through to Thursday is for generally fair weather to prevail, with only isolated showers or isolated thunderstorms, except for the south, where a few showers and isolated thunderstorms can be expected late at night and early morning. In the tropical weather outlook, an area of low pressure located a few hundred miles south-southwest of the Cabo Verde Islands continues to produce showers and thunderstorms. Environmental conditions remain somewhat favorable for gradual development, and this system is likely to become a tropical depression during the next day or two, while it moves westward to west-northwestward across the eastern and central tropical Atlantic. This system poses no threat to Belize and her coastal waters. And with that, we conclude your evening forecast that was prepared here at the National Meteorological Service.